In the entire Predator universe, female Yautja are almost impossible to find. The hunts, the battles, the legendary kills, they're all dominated by males. But there's one female who not only survived her story, but became one of the most complex characters in the franchise. Her name is Big Mama, and her connection to a genetically engineered human would reveal secrets that nobody saw coming. Big Mama wasn't just any predator. She was massive, even by Yautja standards, towering over the male hunters with the skill and ferocity of an elite warrior. Her trophy room told stories of hunts that would make other predators jealous. Skulls from across the universe, including some that looked suspiciously like Batman, Cyclops, and even the adamantium hand of Wolverine. Yeah, Big Mama had been busy. But despite all her victories, she carried a wound that never healed. Her children had been kidnapped, taken from her in a way that violated everything the Yautja stood for. That loss drove everything she did, every hunt, every kill. She wasn't just a warrior anymore. She was a mother on a mission. The story really begins with a woman named Caryn Delacroix, though that wasn't really her name. She was created in a lab, genetically engineered to be perfect in every way, designed specifically to be the trophy wife of Lucien Delacroix, a wealthy arms dealer with too much power and zero morals. Caryn lived aboard the Libertas, a massive skyliner that floated above Earth after the planet fell to a Xenomorph infestation. Life in the sky should have been safe, but Caryn's mind was anything but peaceful. She suffered from terrible nightmares, visions of a massive predator hunting her through alien jungles, stalking her like prey. And in these dreams, the creature kept calling her by a name she didn't recognize, Ash Parnall. She had no idea who that was, or why this hunter seemed to know her. Then the nightmares became real. Big Mama abducted Caryn, dragging her into a virtual hunt controlled by the ship's AI system called Toy. This wasn't random. The Predator recognized something in Caryn, something that went deeper than genetics or programming. During the hunt, Big Mama fought off waves of xenomorphs to protect Caryn, which made no sense. Predators don't protect their prey. But before anyone could figure out what was happening, human security forces captured Big Mama and locked her in a containment lab aboard the Libertas. Caryn should have felt relief. Instead, she felt something else entirely, a pull toward the creature that hunted her. Caryn made a choice that changed everything. She broke into the lab and freed Big Mama from cryogenic storage. They escaped together, stealing a Predator ship and leaving the Libertas behind. But this wasn't just an escape. Big Mama began training Caryn in the ways of the Yautja, teaching her how to fight, how to hunt, how to survive. She treated Caryn like an unblooded warrior, like she was clan. For a predator to do this with a human was unheard of. But Big Mama saw something in Caryn that nobody else did. They became more than allies. They became something close to family. Their bond was tested when they arrived at a space station, and Caryn was captured by black market slavers who planned to sell her to the highest bidder. Big Mama, still healing from injuries sustained in earlier battles, tore through the station to get her back. A predator risking everything for a human. The universe had never seen anything like it. But the real nightmare was just beginning. A xenomorph queen had infested the station, and during the chaos, Big Mama was captured and held hostage. Caryn joined up with a group of mercenaries who'd been trained in Yautja combat techniques, and together they tracked the queen to her hive. The mission was simple: rescue Big Mama. But when they arrived, Caryn realized there was only one way to save everyone. She sacrificed herself, allowing a royal facehugger to implant her with an embryo. It was a death sentence, but it bought them time. The real threat, though, wasn't just the xenomorphs. Toy, the AI that controlled the Libertas, had been conducting experiments, trying to create the perfect hybrid by combining human, xenomorph, and predator DNA. The result was something called the white hybrids, creatures that were faster, smarter, and deadlier than anything that came before. Caryn's fate was sealed the moment that facehugger attached to her. The chest burster erupted from her body in a spray of blood and bone, ending her life in seconds. But this wasn't a normal xenomorph. The creature that emerged carried traces of Caryn's consciousness, her memories, her personality twisted into something alien. A hybrid born from sacrifice, more dangerous than Toy could have imagined. And that's when the real truth came out. Caryn Delacroix never existed. She was a clone, a copy of a woman named Ash Parnall, who'd been terminated years earlier. Ash Parnall was a legend in her own right, a combat specialist who earned the nickname the Renegade during her time as commander of the Samara space station. She wasn't some pampered trophy wife. She was a soldier, trained to kill, experienced in warfare that most people couldn't survive. Ash had worked for a man named Caleb Deschanel, fighting against military forces that were using xenomorphs as weapons of genocide. She'd seen things that would break most people. And at some point during her missions, she crossed paths with Big Mama. The Predator's children had been kidnapped, stolen by forces unknown, and Ash agreed to help her get them back. They fought together, hunted together, but the mission failed. They barely escaped with their lives, and soon after, Ash was killed. Toy recovered her body and cloned her, implanting false memories and reshaping her into Caryn Delacroix, the perfect wife for Lucien. But the genetic imprint remained. Deep in Caryn's DNA, Ash's combat training, her instincts, her warrior spirit, it was all still there, waiting to surface. That's why Big Mama recognized her. That's why she called her Ash Parnall. The Predator never forgot the human who tried to help her find her children. The final battle was absolute chaos. The White Hybrid King emerged, using William Delacroix, Lucien's own son, as its host. The creature spoke with William's voice, a disturbing mix of human intelligence and alien hunger. It went after Caryn's xenomorph offspring and Big Mama, determined to prove itself as the apex predator. The mercenaries trained in Yautja techniques joined the fight, turning the station into a war zone. But the real game changer was the Queen Mother. The massive xenomorph matriarch, knowing she'd been implanted with a hybrid embryo and had only moments to live, made a final move. She grabbed the hybrid king from behind, holding him in an iron grip as the chestburster erupted from her chest. The explosion of alien blood and tissue took them both out, and the newborn hybrid that emerged didn't last long. Big Mama made sure of that, crushing it before it could take its first breath. Then something impossible happened. Caryn's body, lying motionless in a pool of blood, began to regenerate. The genetic modifications that made her the perfect trophy wife included advanced healing capabilities, and they kicked in with a vengeance. Her wounds closed, her organs reformed, and when she opened her eyes, she wasn't Caryn Delacroix anymore. She was Ash Parnall, the original, her true memories restored. She looked at Big Mama and delivered the news the Predator had waited years to hear. She'd found the location of her kidnapped children. The mission they'd failed all those years ago could finally be completed. But first, there was unfinished business. Ash tracked down Lucien Delacroix and ended him, which in turn shut down Toy and freed everyone from the AI's control. They escaped together, and Ash reclaimed her title as the Renegade, the warrior she'd always been beneath the false identity. Big Mama survived, which makes her one of the rarest predators in the entire franchise. Female Yautja almost never appear in these stories, and when they do, they usually don't make it out alive. But Big Mama did, and she got her children back. The story, which came from the comic series Aliens vs. Predator, Deadliest of the Species, is one of the longest and most complex narratives in the AFP universe. Writer Chris Claremont, famous for his work on X-Men, created this character and gave her depth that most Predators never get. And the Easter eggs scattered throughout made fans lose their minds. Big Mama's trophy room featuring Marvel and DC characters, a starship named after Ellen Ripley, connections to other Aliens comics like Aliens Renegade. It was a love letter to the entire franchise. What makes Big Mama's story so powerful isn't just the action or the twists. It's the relationship between a predator and a human that defied everything we thought we knew about the Yautja. Big Mama saw Ash and Caryn before Caryn even knew who she really was. She trained her, protected her, treated her like clan. And in the end, that bond saved them both. The story asks a question that most Predator content avoids. What happens when a Yautja cares about something more than the hunt? What happens when a warrior becomes a mother, fighting to get her children back, willing to break every rule her species holds sacred? Big Mama answered that question in the most brutal, beautiful way possible. She survived, she fought, and she won.